Amid escalating tensions in the Middle East, the United States has formally launched a naval blockade around Iran's ports starting Monday. According to U.S. Central Command CENTCOM, the restriction applies to all vessels transition to and from Iranian ports and coastal areas across the Arabian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. On Wednesday, the U.S. military stated that the blockade has been fully implemented, adding that Iran's maritime trade has effectively come to a halt. Roughly 90% of Iran's international trade depends on sea routes. To enforce the blockade, more than 10,000 U.S. Navy personnel, Marines, and Air Force members have been deployed to prevent Iranian vessels from crossing key waterways. CENTCOM also claimed that within the first 24 hours, 6 commercial ships complied with U.S. directives, turning back and re-entering Iranian ports. Analysts warn that the move could further complicate an already volatile regional situation. Tehran has issued a strong warning stating that if Iranian ports are not secure, other ports across the Middle East will not remain safe either. Meanwhile, a report by the Wall Street Journal estimates that the blockade is costing Iran approximately $435 million per day in economic losses. Experts caution that the disruption could fuel inflation not only within Iran but also across global markets. However, some analysts believe Iran may be able to mitigate the damage if it successfully utilizes alternative trade routes. The blockade is also seen as a strategic move to pressure China. Nearly 45 to 50% of Beijing's crude oil and around 30% of its liquefied natural gas imports pass through these waterways. Despite the show of force, experts say enforcing a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz may prove challenging. The U.S. has deployed around 15 warships in the Strait of Hormuz and the Gulf of Oman, a move that comes with significant operational costs. Analysts suggest that Tehran has entered the standoff with preparations in place to absorb potential losses. Despite the show of force, experts say enforcing a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz may prove challenging. The U.S. has deployed around 15 warships in the Strait of Hormuz and the Gulf of Oman, a move that comes with significant operational costs. Analysts suggest that Tehran has entered a standoff with preparations in place to absorb potential losses. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) has warned that a prolonged conflict could pose serious risk to the global economy. It cautioned that the failure to contain the situation may lead to slower global growth, rising inflation, and heightened financial market volatility.